I had the opportunity to shoot a pro BMX rider, Dan Collar. He rides for King BMX and a Cloud BMX. It was a really cool opportunity to reconnect with Dan. I knew him a lot when I was a kid and I looked up to him. I used to ride BMX, so, it's a sport that is very near and dear to me. Finding a location wasn't very difficult. There's like a lot of local riding spots. And when we shot, it was like pretty sunny, so overpowering the sunlight at times was pretty difficult with the gear we had, and we had some gear malfunction too. So going into the shoot, we knew it was going to be a pretty sunny day, so we wanted to choose a light that was going to give us, enough power to overpower the sun if we wanted to. So we chose to shoot on white lightnings with some Vagabond packs. They're like 1600 watt second heads, so they gave us the power that we needed to beat out the sun and balance if we needed to. For all the riding shots we tried to keep it pretty simple with the lights. We did just a 45-45 lighting pattern with a reflector behind him and a bare bulb in front of him. And we filled it a little bit with the Q flash. The portrait setup lighting we had too was pretty easy to set up. Was pretty self-explanatory. The sun was really working for us. It was getting to be a little bit later in the day, so the sun was a little bit lower, more directional. So we were able to use it as a kicker light and really only use one light to light the portrait, and just put a dish on it and rolled with it. And it turned out pretty good for all the portraits. So later in the day when we did the whole body portraits, our lighting was pretty simple. I think it was the simplest it had been all day. It was just really a one light wonder. I was able to throw on just a big parabolic umbrella and bounce the light back at Dan. And since I spaced him off the background that we put him on, it really created some pretty cool dynamic light, even though it was very simple light. Shooting indoors was kind of difficult because the location that we shot him in was actually a public location. It was a restaurant or a juice press, or whatever you would consider that. So we had to get permission to shoot there, it turned out to be pretty easy. And then once we did, we wanted to keep it as low profile as possible. I was able just to light him and fill him with the Q flash and use the sunlight as a key light, and it panned out pretty good. It was still, dramatic. It didn't get super flat, and I think it really, really told the story of the scene. So there's a pretty outlined way that you're supposed to shoot BMX, and that a lot of people do it, and I kind of wanted to break that mold. So I guess that was one of the more difficult things that we did. I think we changed it up a little bit and didn't go with everything the super classic way that everyone does it. I guess like the hardest part of working on location was probably just lugging all the gear around. I mean, we didn't really shoot with mobile lights. We didn't shoot with B1s, We shot with lights where you needed to have an external power pack to power them, and that was pretty difficult. And then on top of it, we didn't shoot with collapsible stands. We shot with C-stands, so we had to bring bags with us everywhere we went. So, that got pretty taxing when we were moving from spot to spot to keep things varied up and, change it up a lot. In addition to that, I was fortunate enough to have like 2 assistants too. I don't think I could have done it with just one, or especially by myself. Would have really, really lowered the production value and limited what I was able to do. Overall, I think one of the most successful photos that I made that day was probably the action shot I got of him riding the rail. It was pretty cool. I've never shot anything like that, and I think we got the strobes to do what we wanted them to do. We balanced them pretty well with the daylight. I really wish we had more opportunity to shoot more action that day, but unfortunately, he blew his tire on the first go, and I guess that shit happens, and we didn't have an opportunity to link up with him afterwards to follow up with the shoot. But maybe sometime in the future we could make that happen, and it was really pretty cool to create some photos like that.